Hey everyone, fxchannelhouse is back again with the second part of the 3D counter tutorial. So this is the After Effects part, and even for those who don't have a Cinema 4D or didn't make the renders on the last tutorial for the first part, I'm going to leave a link for you guys with the full animation of the project that we did on Cinema 4D, so then you can follow up this very easily. So also, I'm going to make this as a little challenge for us to interact a little bit more, and for you to show what you've been learning here on fxchannelhouse. I'm going to make the counter until number 5, showing you a few shapes, animations, and a few transitions. And then you're going to make that until number 10, and then you can post it here on this video comments. So hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you get ready for that. So open your After Effects, and let's jump onto this. Okay everyone, so ready to start our tutorial. So first thing I'm going to do is to import my Cinema 4D renders. That is over here on the renders that we did for the Cinema 4D tutorial. And they're all over here, like a full animation, and I think it's quite cool. So I'm also going to import my video animation that I did for the counter, just for us to see what we did on the After Effects animation. So this is the video for the animation that I did with the After Effects shapes working. They are really basic, and they are cool to follow up. So start to make this this animation. So the first thing I'm going to do is just if you see around here on the opacity, you see that our render is a little bit big. So what we're going to do is going to just transform, going to scale this a little bit. We're going to bring him a little bit down, not scale too much, but just scale a little bit, so we can have like a similar thing for the other animation. So I cannot just cut this off, so we don't need that for the start. So it's a little bit more centered, and we're ready to start this. So the first shapes that we're going to do is just those circles over here on number 1 that you see when it blows off. Yeah, you see these shapes. We're going to do this. So start making our cool stuff. So first thing I'm going to add a shape layer. On this shape layer, I'm going to put a circle, ellipse, and then also some stroke. On the stroke, I'm going to increase this a little bit more, and I'm going to animate this stroke. So when the number 1 like gets, could be around here, we're going to put this on this clock watch. I'm going to set a keyframe, and on here, I'm going to put this to 0, and we're going to step a little bit forward. I'm going to drag this down, and we have our first shape animation. So just see how this happens. Number 1. So we could just can put this a little bit lower over here. This will be one of our top shapes. So it's going to blast over here. Okay, so now we're going to multiply this. So Control V, and just over here, you're going to transform. You're going to scale this a little bit. You're going to put another color on it. So I'm going to pick up a blue one, just to make this a little bit more different. I'm going to drag it over here. I'm going just to offset this a little bit, so that the animation stays different than the second one, and it stays a little bit more time. And this is it. So I'm going to put this a little bit more over here, and this is going to be our first lower layer. So under here, I'm going to put this, so that way we can start organizing all this stuff. So that's why I'm going only to make this until number 5. I'm going to show you just a few transitions and a few shapes animations, and you're going to make the rest until the end. So I'm going to bring this one a little bit over here. I'm going to Control D again, drag it a little bit over here, and just offset this a little bit more. And I'm going to put this also on white. Okay, so we have our first number one, and then we can also just scale this a little bit less. Okay, so you see your number one is already animated with a few shapes, and ready to keep this thing going. So on number two, we're going to make the 5 animations, and then I'm going to show you also the transitions. So on number two, what we did on number two, if you go here on the animation, you see that on number two, we have some lines passing over here. If you make a zoom, we have some lines passing over here, and I just put a few ones on top and a few ones below, and also just the same shapes that we did on the first layer. So what we're going to do here, so I'm going to put this off, and on number two and start, we're going to make start organizing this. So I'm going to set this. These are the first number one shapes. So I'm going to, on the layer, recompose and call this number one top layer. That's okay. Then I'm going to bring this to, I'm going to layer, recompose, I'm going to call it number one low layers. Okay, so that way we can just adjust things very fast and easily, and have a better composition on the After Effects. So that's okay. We have our first shapes going, and we're going to number two. So number two, what we need here is just a few lines animation. So I'm going to grab my pen tool, going to deselect all, and on, let me see where we're going to put this. So I'm going to, for number two, that's okay, I'm going to set one click over here, and then another click over here. Seems okay. And I'm going to add, and I'm going to put some trim pads over here. So on this trim pads, what I'm going to do, I'm going to animate this. So I'm going to set this up, this end to 0 over here, and do that. That's okay. And I'm going to bring it a little bit back, not too much. I'm going to set this 100. No, it's okay. Yeah, bring this over here. Yeah, start 0 and goes to 100. So around here, I'm going to set a keyframe on start. I'm going to bring this a little bit forward. I'm going to put this on 0. And if I click outside of this, I'm going to see the animations like getting here. And it's, yeah, seems okay. One over here. So now we're going to start duplicating these shapes, and also we can just adjust this with some rotation to put this right. So I'm going to over here, I'm going to bring another color, just some blue stuff. That's okay. And then I'm going just over the rotation over here. I'm going to bring this just a little bit more right, so we can, so it has like a better flow over here on the two. So I'm going to call this like a top layer. I'm going to copy this one, Control D, and bring this below and set it over here, one over here, and you can bring another one, Control D, and bring the rotation on transform, set this on this part for the top two, and we can all go in also to scale this a little bit. Bring this one over here. I'm going to change the color to white. It's okay, and bring this a little bit offset. See, you starting to have like these shapes like animating on two. We can also make a new layer effect. Go here to the shape layer. Going also to to add an ellipse, and on the add again, I'm going to put on fill. So this fill could be blue again, more dark blue, and we can go on the transform. We're going to scale this a little bit less, and bring a keyframe over here, then go back, put this on 0, and bring like a few keyframes ahead, put this on 0 again, on 0. Okay, let's just see where this animation starts. Okay, so number 2. So as this pops over here, we can put this, scale this a little bit, we can put one over here, just Control D, just put one over here. Let's bring this guy to the lower layers. That's okay. Just might need to rotate this white a little bit, but yeah. Okay, we can just also offset this guy a little bit, so we can bounce on different times of the other one. So I'm going to also come up here, change the color of this one to white. The colors you can use whatever color you want. You're free to use whatever color you want, because after this you can post your video on the comments below. So it'll be really cool to see your video. So let's continue the tutorial. Okay, on this shape layer, let's do a white one. So we need the shape layer on the white. So is this one? Yeah, okay. So I'm going to rotate this a little bit more here, so it stays more direct to the two. And also I'm going to copy this one, bring it over here. So I'm going to bring both ones like over this, and then this one I'm going to colorize it with a little bit of yellow. Just check. Yeah, okay, it's an yellow one. So let me check this out. So number 2, we have our animation. So we can also put this starting below, so 1, 2, 1. I need these shapes, like this circle shapes, to be below or ending not so at this part. So I'm going to bring them a little bit up. So I'm on here, going to bring this animation just a little bit over here, and this shape one, and this is the other way, the other shape. You can also put it over here, so that way it won't stay like on front of the tree. So we have our first animation, second animation. Let's just check this out. 1, 2, okay. So on number 3, I'm going to make a different animation that I didn't did on the animation that I did for the tutorial. So I'm going to make a different thing. So I'm going to make a new, no, not a shape layer, but I'm going to make just a circle explosion on the tree. We're going to add a few other shapes around. So I'm going to click and Control and set another click, and I'm going to add, and on the add I'm going to put some trim pads again. So on these trim pads, what I need to do is animate this one so I can repeat an explosion on this. So I'm going to set this to 0 over here. Okay, set this to 0, and then I'm going to bring this over here, and over here I'm going to bring this to 100, and I can also increase these frames a little bit. I can put this keyframe to start over here, and another keyframe over here. Okay, so we have the animation of the shape when the tree passes. And what I need to do is repeat this. So I'm going to repeater. And then on the repeater, I can put a bunch of copies over here. And I'm going to transform repeater and set the position to 0. So I can rotate this. So once it's on 0, okay, so it's on 0, I can start rotating this. So now rotate this until, yeah, 33 is okay. And you see like explosion comes on the tree. That looks really cool. So you can add a few shapes around and continue this. So just put this below the tree and just scale this a little bit. So I'm going to bring the scale a little bit up. So then I'm going to put this. You can still scale this a little bit lower and position this a little bit like this. Let's just check. Yeah, I'm okay with this one. Okay, so this is the, oh, I forgot to organize this. So this is going to be the recomposition of number 3, number 3. This could be the top layer. It's okay. And we're also going to organize the other ones so it can stay cool. So these two ones going to be layer recompose number 2 top layers, and this 4 guys going to be number 2 lower layers. That's cool. It's a little bit different and organized. So so we have our number 3, number 2, number 3, rocking and blowing, and I think it's a lot cool. So I'm also going to add a few other shapes on this, and we can join this to this tree top layer. So it's cool. So I'm going to add another, where it is, another shape layer. On this shape layer, I'm going to add an ellipse, and I'm going to add a fill on this, set the scale of this a little bit smaller, and on transform, I'm going to put the scale on this size. I'm going to set a keyframe, put this to 0. Okay, then put this to 0 again. 1, 2, 3, 0. Okay, so this bursts. We can increase this a little bit, and we can start set it like a few ones over here. So we can also put the scale of this a little bit lower. Scale like this. It's okay. Okay, let's bring them up again, and we can start like copying and put this to white. Let's call that we were working. Let's make a few copies, like D, Control D, put one over here. You can also rescale this. Scale. Put this a little bit lower. Okay, you can also Control D. Zoom this a little bit, bring this one over here. Just make some cool things. So because we're going to see your video on the end, so I'm just showing you guys how to make a few animations on shapes, and using some effects on this. So I'm going just to put this over here, and we could just offset the animation, so and try to see how this works. So yeah, I'm okay with it. So we got our number 3. So the following number is number 4, and the number 4 over our intro of our animation was quite like this, was a circle shape, a big shape, and just a few lines like passing over here, and some other shapes like blowing off. So let's do that. Okay, so sorry. Okay, on number 4, I'm going to put a big circle, but first let me just organize this one. So this one are the 3 shape layers, so I'm going to pre-compose this. Pre-compose and going to be number 3 top shapes. That's okay. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's go to 4. Okay, 4 could be around here for the shape. So I'm going to add a new shape layer. On this shape layer, I'm going to add a circle, ellipse, and also some stroke. On this ellipse path, I'm going to put the scale around this, okay, and I'm going to set the stroke to around 20. Should be cool. So on around 20. So when the 4 gets like over here, this is going to scale and then going down again. So I'm going to over here, I'm going to set another keyframe. I'm going to pass a little bit forward and set the keyframes to 0 again. And we have our 4, and also just adjust this a little bit, position this a little bit more centered. Okay. Got our 4. Now we need some lines over here and another shape for this to explode. So let me just go to my pen tool. And on this pen tool, I'm going to deselect everything. I'm going to set a click over here and another click over here. So right, and I'm going to leave it yellow. So I'm going to my shape layer. I'm going to add some trim paths. And on this trim paths, I'm going to animate this. So on the end, I'm going to put this on 0 over here and bring a little bit back. And I'm going to bring this over on 0. Then here, I'm going to put this on 100. And if I scale this a little bit, I can bring over here. I set this to start on a keyframe, position this over here, and bring this a little bit back. So what we need is just to fasten these frames so that the position gets a little bit right. So number 4, I can put this, just check this out. We could rotate this a little bit, just to position this quite right. And I think it's alright. Yeah, bam. It's more correct now. So what we need now is to make a copy on this one that is below and just scale it up, scale it down, okay? Going to put this contents transform, going to put a big scale on this. So I need one over here, scale this a little bit, need one over here, that's going to be top, and I'm going to need another one to be below. So this one, okay, is this one. So can also offset this a little bit, so it has a different animation of the big one. So I'm going to offset this just a little bit. Okay, let's just put this. A little bit. this is the shape that I need to offset. Okay. But it's a lot. Just put this down. Yep, that's okay. So now I'm gonna Control D again because I need a smaller one. Put over here and to put below the animation over here. Just organizing, and this one is going to be also a little bit small. And the transform, scale, rotation on this cut can be a little bit more small. Okay, we have animation for the 4. Alright, so what we need now is number. What just happened to the. Oh, yeah, it's this one. This one. This girl gets 2. Need to be 0. Okay, sirs. Yeah, so the other ones also were copied and have to be 0 on the stroke. Sorry for this, guys. Just a little bit. Let's fix. So this one, and this one is the line shape. So we just need this both. Okay. Need this one on the stroke here. 0. It's okay. And I need the other one. So it's not this one, it's this one. Okay, number 1, number 0. Okay, let's fix it. Now, and it's gone. Alright, let's check this out. Number 4. And so yeah, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and comes to number 5. So our number 5 is also like a copy of the other shape. So let's just check this out. And, on number 5, we have like also a few lines and like a fillet circle shape. And let's get this done. So that's why I didn't did to number 10, because all the animations are followed by this, and you just need to be creative and make your own thing. So and I'm not going to make you lose a lot of time making the same stuff every time. So when we get on number 5, we're gonna continue organizing this. So this is the top shapes for the number 4 layer, recompose, top shapes for 4. Okay, this is the top shape. This is the top the grab. This is the lower shape. It's number 4. No. Number 4 lower layers. Alright, now we're done. Okay, let's go to number 5. So on number 5, I'm going to also put a few shapes running over here. And let's start out with our pen tool. Let's just deselect everything. And our pen tool, let's just see where number 5 gets. I could get him on here. Yeah. This is a cool part to get. So I'm going to make one click over here and another click over here. So have our shape, going to our trim pads, and trim pads in here, and we're going to animate this trim pad. So this gets on number 0 over here, and then over here gets on number 200, and then I'm gonna make add a keyframe on the start, and over here I'm gonna put this on 100. So I have the animation over here, just need to put this right. So I'm going to bring this a little bit backward. And just make it a little bit smaller. Okay, transform. I'm going to rescale this and also rotate this on the side of the 5. Make this rotate a little bit more. Okay, so this could be one of our lower shapes. I'm going to bring this onto the lower shapes, and so it could be behind the 5. Okay. This could be a little bit more rotated, which is rotation, kind of like this. Yeah, I think I did this a little bit more. And now I'm going to make a copy of this one. Control D. I set also a rotation on this to about 90. 90 should be a lot. I want this man to put right over here. So a little bit. Just offset this a little bit lower. Okay, you can put some other shape layers on this. So the number 5 around here. You can also bring 2 or 3 shapes around here. So I'm going to bring my pen tool again, go up here, deselect everything, and this one gets over here. This one can go around this. So one over here, another one over here. So we're going to add some trim pads. Sorry. And on this trim pads, I'm going to put this on 0, set a keyframe, bring this a little bit backwards, and put this on 100. But I'm going to push this a little bit, got stuck. Okay. That's okay. Over here, I'm going to put a keyframe on the start, push this a little bit forward, and bam. So we have our animation for this shape. Now I just need to adjust it. One over here, and okay. Bring my shape out here, Control D, and just rotate this 180. So we can have the animation on the flip side. So I'm going to change the color for white, down, I'm going to put that yellow one also, that is this one. Okay, put it a little bit lower and make a copy of this one with white. Okay, so just adjust a little bit. Now 5 is ready to bump, so I'm going just to put another shape layer on that. I'm going to make a circle, just an ellipse tool, and some fill. On the size, I'm going to put this a little bit lower. I'm going to bring our one ellipse over here a little bit slow. I'm going to animate the scale of this, so I'm going to put one keyframe over here, and on this one I'm going to put this on 0. Okay, put this on 0 again. Alright, 1, 2, 0. Okay, put this on 0. You can also increase this a little bit at a time, because to be a little bit different. Okay, and I have it, so Control D, bring this a little bit back, just for us to position our second shape. Just put this with white. Let's check this out. You can also increase this a little bit, a little less. Just offset your things, make different timings on the animations, and things look good on After Effects. So this is our tutorial for the shapes animations, and we need to do now the transitions of the dead panels of the layers. So hope you keep enjoying this tutorial, and I hope you'll be learning cool things on this. So continue making your animation, and then send it to the comments below, and I will be pleased to comment and see the video. So let's get on that transition. So these transitions are very easy. So I'm going to put a background, a new solid. I'm going to put the color a little bit dark, it's okay, and put this below everything. So it's going to be our background. So when we get to number 1, I'm not going to make a transition, but on number 2, we're going to have a transition. So what you could do over here, so it's Control D to duplicate your background. Just call it, rename this to transition 1 or transition number 2. Transition number 2. But what you're going to add over here is change the color of this to just check. Okay, could be a little bit more dark. It's okay. Colors, you're free to use whatever color you want. So just showing you out how you can make some cool transitions on this. So I'm going to transition. I'm going to set a linear wipe. And on this linear wipe, I'm going to put this to 200 at the start. So when I'm getting on 2, I'm going to get on 2 over here, and I can transition this. So I'm going to Effects, and on the linear wipe, I'm going to set a keyframe with the transition completion over here, and then over here I'm going to bring this to 0, and I have our transition on 2. So let's just check this out. 1 and 2. So you can just now adjust position on this, so it like kicks a little bit different, and show the animation after it passes out the layer. So let's just make this till number 5. I'm going to show you a few different ones. And again, Control this, Control copy, Control D, and make this transition number 3. Okay, and I'm going to the layer, solid settings, and I'm going to put this on. Let me just check, like a different blue. Now I can just offset this, and make if I want, I can just turn around. So to number 3, just it's going to pass before number 3. Going to be a little bit like this. Okay, that seems cool. And now I can affect the position of the transition over here. So just check over here. Yeah, I think it's cool. Just preview this. Got number 2, number 3. Yeah, seems cool. Let's move to number 4. Let's try to make a different transition. Let's Control D to copy the transition. Let's make another color on this. Layer, solid settings. I'm going to put this like that, pinkish stuff. And so we're gonna around here, number 3, and number 4. Can set the transition over here on number 4. Okay, I'm going to direct this to another place over here. Just make this greatest thing like around here. Alright, got number 4. And number 5, I'm going to Control D. I'm going to change this solid settings to different color, to that blue, dark blue again. I'm going to set the transition. Number 3, number 4. Now I need number 5. Okay, number 5 is around here. Okay, so we could also set some Venetian lines over here to make this a little bit cooler. So on this Venetian lines, we're going to set up over here. Okay, just rotate this around here. Just see the animation. Yeah, and I have a 5 rocking also. Just put this over here so you can see just till number 5 our animation. I think it's really cool with a few shapes and with a few transitions. You can make a lot of cool animations. So make your stuff, post it on the comments, and I hope you really enjoy this tutorial for After Effects. So this completes the 3D counter for Cinema 4D and After Effects tutorial from fxchannelhouse. So guys, keep on following, keep on subscribing to fxchannelhouse, and we're going to see you on a really cool project. And don't forget to post your video on the comments below, and so we can discuss about the project. So hope you guys enjoy all this, and see you another time, guys. So cheers.